Welcome back, everyone. We have a very special guest with us today. It's Sergeant Chad Recker, and he's going to be talking about safety tips for pedestrians. Welcome, Chad.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Now, I did read a statistics here. I just want to share that. Since 2018, there have been 14,119 pedestrian-related crashes on Ohio's roadways. That's quite amazing to me, I thought. So we're going to talk about some safety tips that you can offer for our viewers.
Right, yeah. So when you're talking pedestrian crashes, we kind of split it up into urban and rural. So with urban, you want to make sure that you're using crosswalks. Typically, crosswalks are lighted better. People are expecting you to be there. If you're in a crosswalk, traffic has to yield to you. If you're not crossing in a crosswalk, then a pedestrian has to yield to the traffic.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So then with rural crashes, some issues with rural crashes in our area are when typically we see if people are getting into maybe a minor crash and then they're getting out of their vehicle and becoming a pedestrian, issues happen there where then they're getting hit by other cars. So if you're out in the rural areas and you're either walking or maybe something happens where you have to get out of your vehicle, try to get off the roadway, either stay in your vehicle. If that can't happen, get off the roadway as far as possible so something like that wouldn't happen.
Probably put it on your flashers and your lights, definitely, so make sure you draw attention to you, you know, so.
And if you're walking in rural areas, so our law states if there are no sidewalks, then you are allowed to walk on the roadway. But if you are walking on the roadway, you have to walk against traffic. So remember that if you're out in the rural areas and there's no sidewalks, that you walk against like oncoming traffic.
Right. And it's getting darker a little bit earlier now, you know, as the fall weather is here and fall time is here. So do you have any recommendations for, especially if you're walking, you know, after work or, you know, you want to get some exercise? We do still have some beautiful weather out there to enjoy. So any maybe clothing or? Yeah,
if you have reflective vests, that would be best. If you don't have something like that, any bright colored clothing is better than the dark colored clothing. Another thing that I've seen people are doing are having flashlights, or they're even buying things that they can put on their head that will have lights to the rear and to the front. So that little bit might just catch a driver's attention and, you know, have them slow down or watch for you. But with pedestrians, it's not just, you know, motor vehicles and like they're being at fault. You know, we have a mix of pedestrians being at fault as well. So we want to make sure that the pedestrians are following all the proper laws and rules, but at the same time, the motoring public, they have to make sure that they're looking out for pedestrians.
That is very true. Now, I do have a question for you because it just popped into my head. What about those bicyclists out there? You know, something that people need to be aware of as well.
Right. Bicyclists, they have to actually follow the same laws as a motor vehicle. So they're not considered a pedestrian. So if there's bike lanes, they have to make sure they're in those bike lanes. If not, there's certain areas throughout Lima where bicyclists are not allowed on sidewalks. They have to be on roads. So when you're on a road in a bicycle, you have to have a headlight, you have to have a rear light, and again, just make sure you're watching for traffic, and traffic is watching for bicyclists, because it seems that when pedestrian bicycle crashes with motor vehicles, that they're pretty severe.
Right, and always wear a helmet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course, safety first.
Absolutely.
And if you're in a parked car, of course, you know, I always say, you know, look at your rear view mirrors, because if there's a bicyclist on the road, you want to make sure that if you open that door, surprise, you don't want
Yeah, if you're opening your vehicle into traffic, you never know when a bicyclist is coming. It seems that everybody's looking for a car, but you never know who's going to be out there and when that split second's going to cause an issue.
That's true. Well, Sergeant Chad Recker, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate your insight for our viewers, for me. You know, it's a good reminder, safety first at all times. Well, ladies and gentlemen, don't go away because medical news is next on Noon Edition.